Live. Welcome, my friends, to the live show. Sixth time, no problems this week. Straight in line. Hi, it's Trev the Rev, and I'm no Vicar Kachunga, my friends. Welcome to the show. What are we talking about tonight? Well, I've got an interesting subject tonight. Very interesting subject tonight. Hoping it can go on for about half an hour, but it may go on a bit longer because of the rise subject. Well, I like to start my show with a joke. You all know that. And before I'm not a joke, not me. I'm not a joke. The joke itself. Two pieces of string. Yes, two pieces of string go into a pub because they fancy a drink. Now, before you go any further, I don't know how string drinks. It's the point of the joke, right? But two pieces of string go into the pub for a drink, and there's one bit of strings is brand new, and the other bit of strings been well used, bit old, And the new one goes, right, I'll get the drinks in. So the old one sits down, and the new bit of string wanders up to the bar, and how a bit of string can walk. Don't go there. And he goes up to the bar, and he goes, barman, he says, can I have 2 pints of beer, please? Now, your next question is going to be, how can string talk? Well, again, it's a joke. It's a joke. So the barman comes over and he says, I'm sorry, but we don't serve string in here. And he looked up and he went, don't be daft. He says, can you please have a beer? No, I'm sorry, sir, but we don't serve string in here. He said, no, we're thirsty. We want something to drink. Can we please have a beer? No, I'll tell you one more time. We don't serve string in here. So the bit of string turned around and walked back to the table to join his mate. Sat down. He says, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we can't have any beer here today because they don't serve string in here. Don't worry, says the older bit of string. He says, I'll get them in. I can do it. So the old bit of string gets up and he walks over to the bar and he leans up against the counter. By the way, they're very long bits of string. Very long bits of string. Long bits of string. And he goes up to the counter and he says, barman, he says, can I please have 2 pints of beer? And the barman's getting rather frustrated by now because these stupid bits of string coming up and speaking to him, Me, I'd catch the string and sell them. Talking string, loads of money. And walking talking string, loads of money. And he looks at the string and says, look, I told you, mate, we don't serve string in here. And the old bit looks at him and he went, yeah, but have you noticed I'm not a bit of string? He says, you're a bit of string. He says, no, I'm not. I'm afraid not. Okay, but I see. The tumbleweeds are going again. Which reminds me of the show from the 70s. One day I should try and get the tune on. When I do a joke, it's going to go, yay, all the tumbleweeds. And most of the young viewers won't get that because that's a joke for people who were around in the 70s from 80s. Blah! Anyway, back to the show. Well, there'll be no distractions today. No distractions. The cat's not here, so no distractions at all. Blankety blank, blankety blank, blankety blank. Back to the show. Right, moon conspiracies. I wanted to talk about a subject today about as I said, it goes backward and forwards. We leap backward and forwards with the show. Today's show is about moon conspiracies. Yeah, moon conspiracies. What are moon conspiracies? Well, the moon conspiracy theories started the original one, and we're going to discuss. As I said, this show's going to be about half hour long, but I've got a gut feeling it may go on a bit longer. You'll never know. No, you never know. So, the main conspiracy, the main one. Everyone knows. In 1960, I believe, I think it's the right year, a certain young man in America went, within 10 years, we will land on the moon. Why? because it's hard, because we can, or it's something like that. Basically, he was saying America was going to land on the moon before the Russians get there. It was the space race. Russians had beaten already America into space, so the Americans were determined to beat the Russians to the moon. That in itself is a theory that I'll come speak to you later on. The first major one is about this thing with the moon landing in 19. And you will notice I will glance to the one side as I'm talking because I have notes to the side so I don't slip or try not to do these funny faces when I try to fill the gaps of the tune. There was a moon landing the space program started at quite an early age, and everyone knows that. But in 1969, it was the first time America landed on the moon. We all of us know it's quite famous. Neil Armstrong was the first person, followed by Buzz Aldrin. Now, since the moment that all the pictures came from the moon landing, people have automatically decided that we didn't actually go there. We didn't do this massive journey. Instead we phoned up Hollywood and did a film set of it, so you can pretend to be there. In fact, far as conspiracies could go, it covers the first 5 moon landings by NASA, to a point where 6 men who said they'd been on the moon didn't. As I said, this is a conspiracy. Maybe not my thoughts. I have my own ideas. I'll go into later on. Someone has joined the show. Someone is watching the show. Don't know who it is yet. I'm sure I'll say hello in a minute. In the year since the 2000s, photos have been taken of the moon, which has disproved some of the theories. But I'll go through the bulk of the theories at the moment to say what's going on. The first thing they picked out concerns the flag that's planted on the moon itself. Now, when they put this flag up, because bear in mind in space, bear in mind up there in the depths of space, there's no air, there's no wind. I don't mean one of the people up there having baked beans and then having wind in that way. I mean the wind. So when the flag goes up, it's not going to be flapping about, is it? Because there's no wind. It's just going to droop down. Like you imagine, it's just going to go up, and then the flag's going to be like, this is going to be useless. So what they did, they attached a thin metal rod to the flag itself, so the flag would stick out. And because there's no wind, it would just be occupied and it would just stick out like that. It wouldn't move. But the shots of when the film shots was when the flag was going up, it would flutter about. So that was the first one. Why would it flutter if there's no wind? So thoughts on that. People say it was people put the flag up that was making it move about. There's several theories. But to me, I'm not that knowledge on how weather works up on the moon. But if there's no wind, how can the flag flutter? Flutter. Not flutter like a butterfly, you flutter along the wind. So the second theory that's going out at the moment were the shadows on the photo. There's multiple, apparently there's multiple, the shadows are in such a way that there must be more than one light source for the shadows to be formed, to be formed on the way. Almost my thinking word, when I'm thinking, when I go, I'm not trying to do a meditation. And so you got sort of vision these shadows, and there's multiple light sources. But if you were there, surely the only light source you see would be from the sun, which is one light source. So technically, how these shadows could be there. Again, people come up with theories why there's all these shadows there and multiple shadows. No one knows. Again, it's just thoughts. It's just things that people pick out. The third one involves the film itself. Now, I did put note on this part of the theory because it's quite a complicated one. In the sun rays, that hits the moon, temperature gets up to 280 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot. That's very hot. So the film would melt. Now, this has been countered by saying a lot of the filming was done at night when the sun wasn't so bright, but then the moon would be in the dark side, or how can it be night? Because the sun's there all the time. Surely maybe the earth gets in between or something. I don't know. That's just theories, and that's my answer to it. But that's an interesting thought. Hello, we've got someone back on air again with us. He might say hello. I don't know if you can find out if he does or not. So yes, so that's the theory with the heat side of it. That's how they say the film wasn't melted. See, I didn't even know that until I was looking at the. Hello, Carl, mate. Carlos Mucker, how you doing? Trev the Rev, and I know Vicar here talking to you. Talking out loud, Carl. The next part of the things that people point out, the mistakes they made, was as a footprint. Now, you might think when I say footprint, everyone makes footprints when they walk, but the moon has practically no gravity, so how can the footprint be formed? Because you need two things on the moon for this to be formed. The ground must be damp. So when you push your weight into it, the dampness makes the footprint. But again, people have found reasons why this happened. Now, I haven't tried this. I've just read about it. Apparently, if you get a load of fine dust, such as talcum powder, make a big pile of that, then stomp on it, it will somehow form a footprint without any dampness around. So there's another reason why it may have happened. So that apparently it can take shape that way. The other mistake they've apparently made was in the depths of space, forget the planets and stuff, but in the depths of space, what do you see? Well, you see the big one in the sky during the day, stars. And we've got a second person online. Welcome, welcome, whoever you are, wherever you are, welcome. So yes, there's stars. But in this photo that they took, there are no stars in the photo. So again, they just assume it's like a black wall or something when they were filming, and they made a mistake that way. But again, they said apparently stars are very, very fine, so you wouldn't see them in the photo. Now, that's just some of the reasons people think the moon landing was faked. Now, me personally, the thought I come up with, I once read a story. Everyone knows me. I'm a massive medium. Not a massive medium. I'm a learning medium. Had my first live night last night. Brilliant, lovely show. And I read media magazines, obviously, because I get my thoughts from there. And there's an article in one of the magazines written by a lady called T.J. Higgs, who's quite a well-known medium. For people who know things about mediums, if you don't know about mediums, you might not have heard of her. And she did a article in the magazine called "The Psychic Detective." Now, you may speak about it fun and game, you may laugh about it. I've met T.J. Higgs. I know she's legit, so as far as I'm concerned, the answers she puts in the magazine are legit too. Now, the theory that she came up with, that she was given, personally, I'm a large blankety blank, blankety blank, blankety blank, blankety blank. Nothing like doing half a sentence, Carl. You haven't changed, mate, have you? Half a sentence. Come on, Carl. And she said when they went to the moon and they've done all the filming, they're filming on the moon, when they're walking on the moon, trying to do Sting now, look, it's not working, we shall live forever, walking on the moon. Yeah, good song. I know. I would play it, but I'll get done for that because I'm playing a song without getting permission to do it and all that jazz because I'm not making money off of it and everything else, And she said when they went up and they did all the filming was that bad because there wasn't a lot of lights. There wasn't a lot able to do it. and the money that went into the space program, if the American public were to see the film that they made, there would have been a massive uproar. So they returned, and when they come back, then they did film a second mock landing, so the public would have something to look to watch. So they, in my eyes, they went, but the filming was done as a mock-up to make it look a lot better than what it was. And that's my theory. Personally, I think it's a good theory. I can actually see them doing that in America, sort of thing to cover up. I can see that, but they made mistakes whilst filming. People pick it up. Then we didn't go to the moon. But from the sources that I've spoken to, and I have spoken to someone who's actually in the military and involved in stuff like this. He did tell me they did go to the moon, but he didn't tell me what happened afterwards. I wasn't allowed to. Now that's the main conspiracy around the moon, the main one. About this, did we go? Did we? That's the main one. We just heard my theory on that. Tell me what you think. Now there are more theories, more conspiracies around the moon that you may or may not have. These aren't so majorly known as, we can discuss it. The first one is the moon's hollow. Yes, they're saying this chunk of rock in space that orbits the Earth is hollow. Well, if you have an open mind to that, anything's possible. Anything is possible. Apart from jumping off a cliff and trying to fly, that's only possible with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But the hollow moon theory, if it is true, does tie into another conspiracy that I'll speak about later on. So I'll go back to that one. The reason they say it was hollow is when the lander took off the moon and soared into space, they had to drop something. The booster rockets given the push off the moon, and that fell down to the moon surface. But when it hit the moon, apparently they heard not a ringing sound, but some sort of sound that would give the intention that the moon's hollow. I don't know. Interesting wee thoughts out there. The next theory that's up there is that there's actually life on the moon. This is what they're trying to say, is there's aliens on the moon. They're watching us. Now, people have always said that this is quite an interesting theory. This is a theory I actually like. The reason I like it is I believe in the ancient alien theories. And for that to work, aliens must be around us all the time without being seen. Now, if you think about it, if they want to watch us from a place, do Wallace and Gromit not live up there? No, they don't. No, the moon is not made of cheese, Carly. Mr. Carlos. The moon is not tune, moon, foon, goon. It's not made of cheese. But Wallace and Gromit are real. They do exist. As aware of it does. So yes, the best place they can watch us from without being disturbed is the moon. Now, again, linking into that, if they lived there, then they must have constructed something up there. There's been photos that I've seen. I've actually seen photos in some magazines that people may read, some people may not, of objects on the moon. I've seen turrets, gun turrets and stuff. They could be real, they could be not. I've watched a media channel through the internet, and that someone has been in the military and he found something called a space military program. They contacted beings on the moon and were told very strictly by the people up there not to go back. Please leave us be. We want nothing to do with you violent little toe rags. And so, yeah, that's another theory. The last one of the theories, of the small ones that I'm going to push out, and then we can discuss the ones you want to talk about, maybe go somewhere completely else, is, do you remember at the start of the video, before my bad joke about the pieces of string, I mentioned that Neil Armstrong was the first man to land on the moon. Well, put it in your mind. What if in the race to land on the moon, Neil Armstrong wasn't the first man on the moon? There's a conspiracy out there. There was a conspiracy that going around, and I find this one intriguing. Not going away, kind of quite intriguing to listen about. Is that he wasn't the first man on the moon? In fact, Russia beat America to the moon, but the astronaut they sent out there died. He actually died just as he landed and walked on the moon. And all this was covered up by the Americans. And they went, no, we were here first because we're America. We're massive. We are the best country in the world, apart from England and Devon. Devon's the best county in a country in the world. Honestly, Devon's the best one, honestly. Not sure about, other counties, but, we're the best. We're the best stuff. I've been in a few, so I can go away, I suppose. But yeah, so they're saying that Russia got there first. Now, that's a theory that I actually found today when I was looking up the various conspiracies that are out there. And but what if it makes you think, doesn't it? The theories that come out. Did Russia get there first? Was this all hidden up by the people behind? And being honest, does it really matter? Does it affect us, the general public? No, it doesn't. All it does is making one country look good and one country not so good. What is the thing about being the first to a certain place? I can understand the pride. I can understand the power that you may or may not get from doing something like this. But if they were all this, it's like now. Before I go any further, I will say, the sadness about what happened in France with Notre Dame Cathedral. It was a tragedy being burnt down, but it's nice to hear the money that's being put in to rebuild it. But part of me disagrees with that. It's burnt down. It's one of those things. It is a shame it's happened, but all of a sudden these billionaires in France are bunging all this money in to fix it. Well, if they got all this money to throw around, why can't they do things with the money that'd be more useful, like making homes for people who are on the streets? Give these people another chance in life. And that's one thing. It's not just France. It's everywhere. It's all these politicians that get billions and billions of money for doing nothing really, messing the company up. Just the company, the country up. And then they do something stupid, and they get a raise for it. They get a pay rise for it. They get free houses. Now, surely, why can't politicians agree that to be a better country, look after the people who vote for you, look after the people in the country itself, make homes for the homeless, give them that chance to make something of their lives? It's surely that's a better thing for them. And I've gone off the subject of the moon. Do you know so? I was up in there, and now I'm down here. It's all the money. But yeah, it's very sad to hear about Notre Dame and Notre Dame Cathedral. It's quite funny because last week I was going to do a joke about the Hunchback, but I thought better of it. I thought, no, won't push the balance on this. And I thought I'd talk about something else last week, and I'm talking about the moon this week. So yeah, there's the this toxic theory. Is it hollow? Is there alien life up there? Did we land? Who got there first? Does it really matter? It's conspiracies. I do find conspiracies interesting to watch. It makes you think what we're being told. And whilst we're going up about the space program and stuff like that, I believe that what we're told and what they've done are two different things. I believe the technology side of things, we're actually a lot further along the space program than what we're told. I do believe there's aliens up there. I'm a bit. I'm not. Your head, honestly, I'm not. But I do believe. I mean, it's part of aviation alien theory, isn't it? I mean, you think of all the stars that are in this galaxy, in our galaxy alone. Then picture all the galaxies that there are out there. Um, there's no way are we the only race that exists in this universe we're in. There's no way. There's plenty of them out there. And we are being watched. We need to be watched because we're not the best race in the galaxy. We're a barbaric race, personally, and I'm babbling, and I'm I'm babbling again. Um, but we're not, are we? We must admit we are not the most safest race on this planet. In fact, we're a blinking nightmare, as far as I'm concerned. There's one story that someone got taken up into space by an alien race, and they said, "Where are we going to?" And they went, we're going to, I believe it was Venus." They said they were going to, and these were the days where no one actually knew what Venus was actually like, so it's actually believable. And he was taken there, and he said the journey was very, very quick, so it makes sense. It's just like a nearby planet. And then everyone's like, no, 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 matron, no, matron. It can't be true because Venus is inhabitable. But I'll tell you something. If you wanted to show, if I was if someone came here and wanted to take someone to the home world to show how nice their home world is, would you tell them where your home is? I wouldn't, because they'd see a barbaric race that virtually we all are, and then put our home world in danger. No, I'd take them there. I'd show it, but I wouldn't tell them where it is. That's just being daft. I wouldn't tell them at all. I'd just make up a name and say, yeah, it's over there. Maybe tell them the truth when we've evolved from a more enlightened state, enlightened state. So, yeah. So it's coming up to half an hour now, and I've come up with the theories. What do you think? Thank you for joining the show, Carl. I appreciate you watching. I know you got a lot of things to do in your life, like fixing roofs and stuff. And while I'm speaking about Carl, I mentioned his name a lot. I will say he used to work. He used to work. I say work. Wasn't too sure about that. He used to work at the place where I work, and Friday was his last day. The last Friday just gone. I said goodbye to him on the day and took the mickey out of him a little bit, but I want to say it on air so he can hear it, so everyone can see it. Na 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 na. Hey, goodbye. Goodbye, Carlos. Best of luck with your work. Do not be a stranger. Pop in and see us whenever you want to. Bring my hair money in. Honestly, bring the hair money and pontoon money, because I could win this time. I could win. I could win, 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 rip, 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 win, win. And yeah, so on that note, I want to say, no, before I forget, I forgot to say the magic word. I don't mean please and thank you. If you like this video, if you've enjoyed the show, yes, you're right. I'm a madman, Carl. I am mad. I'm mad, Carl. It's funny. Most people, when they see me at work, I'm quite the non-mad person. I'm quite straight, quite stick to the rules. I love shouting out, "Where's your high vis? Where's your high vis?" But when I'm doing stuff like this, I open up to my fun side, and I do like to go a little mad sometimes, because it's fun, and some people like it. Why not? I like it. It's a good laugh. Me, I'm mad. Apparently, I'm not sure on this. I think I'm mad. So yes, if you've enjoyed the show, please hit the like button. I need the like button hit if you've liked the show. If you like to watch the show again and again, and you want to see my videos when they come up, conscribe, can't speak, subscribe to the show. Hit that subscribe button. I still Kachunga. Yes, Trev, Carl, Kachunga, my mate. And you spelt Kachunga wrong. It starts with a C. Yeah, you threw me off, completely threw me off there, Carl. Yeah, threw me off. So hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of these videos when I good laugh. Most of my videos are fantastic laugh. If you want to know when these videos are coming out, hit the bell. Hit the bell like Quasimodo. Hit that bell. And most thing you can do is tell your friends. The more people I can get to watch these videos, more things I can do. So it's like, subscribe, bell, tell all about it, because it's what it's all about. Tell all about it. Something about. Chibble up, my friends. This is Trev the Rev signing off, and it ain't no bicker. Kachunga.